Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be looking into my crystal ball and trying to project some candidates that could potentially be extended during the offseason. But I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, Panda Sups. They're hooking us up with 35% off. All you got to do is use code VDAY. PandaSups.com. Your body will absolutely thank you. So what I have here on today's show are 5 players on the Las Vegas Raiders that I think could be subject to getting a contract extension this offseason. And we're going to go through all 5 of those, and then also I'm actually going to break down some potential contract numbers of exactly what I think could go ahead and happen. But if the Raiders extend Derek Carr, if they extend any of these top dudes, I'm going to be making a video about it. So I don't want you to miss it. I want you to turn on those notifications. I want you to hit that subscribe button for the simple fact of this. If we're sitting around and I get the notification, all right, hey guys, Derek Carr, he just signed a big-time deal, we're going to be going live. For Derek, we're going to be going live, which is why I actually kind of wanted to make this show, because I talked about it a little bit yesterday. If you didn't see me break everything down, another reason to hit that sub button. So let's talk about the Raiders quarterback here. He's going to be the first guy I bring up on today's show. According to Ian Rappaport, and this ended up happening, I don't know, maybe a few hours before Super Bowl 56, that Rappaport said that the Raiders are prepared to extend DC. Rap Sheet ended up saying like it could be a big-time extension. He also said that it could be kind of a short extension in his quote. So not 100% sure which way the Raiders are going to go. I do know this. Carr's 2022 salary cap hit is at $19.9 million, and he's got 1 year left on his deal. This past year, the Raiders made the playoffs. Sure, they ended up losing, but winning your last 4 games, and I'll say basically all playoff caliber games, is one of the reasons why I can sit up here and say that, sure, Derek Carr does deserve a contract extension. I can also say that he doesn't deserve one. He came off a year with 4,804 yards. That's a career high, setting the single-season record for the Raiders, beating out Rich Gannon. The 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and the turnovers is a bigger issue for me personally. Now, when you talk about DC, he was drafted in 2014. In his first 3 years in the NFL, here were his numbers before his contract extension. 2015, 32 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. 2016, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Sure, the yards weren't all that great considering what he's been able to put up now, but I'll take higher touchdown numbers over yards every single day of the week. When you look at his numbers then after the contract extension, the 2021 numbers, like I just mentioned, and then 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 2020 was his best year, 27 touchdowns, only 9 picks. So what I figured I decided to do is, okay, let's break down Derek Carr's numbers before the contract and after the contract, side by side, and basically what the numbers look like from a per-season average. Completion percentage before the contract, 60.9% completion percentage, 3,731 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a winning percentage of 45. When he signed the big-time deal, then after the contract, sure, the completion percentage goes up to 67.6. I'm glad that the yards go up to 4,101 per season, but touchdowns drastically lower at 22. Interceptions go up a little bit, and the winning percentage for the Raiders does go down. Now, every single player that I talk about here on today's show, I am going to ask you this question here. Should they sign him? But with the quarterback, I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So should the Raiders extend DC? I want you to type Y4 for yes, or I want you to type N4 for no. The reason why I vote no is because I do not believe that a contract extension for DC is in the best interest of the Raiders this season, and potentially not in the best interest for them for a long term. When you give your quarterback a big-time deal when he's not a top 10 QB, it can hurt you a little bit, and sure, he did suffer statistically a little bit, but the Raiders also won less games after the Carr extension. But what I decided to do here is for guys that I do think are going to get an extension, I do actually see Carr getting one. This is my Carr extension projection. Now, this is based off of what I think could end up happening from everything that I have gathered. I could see Carr getting 2 years, and I'm going to throw out a number here, $74 million fully guaranteed. The reason why I'm going to throw out fully guaranteed is because I really truly believe you could see a contract similar to what the Minnesota Vikings gave Kirk Cousins, where they gave it to him fully guaranteed. Because let's get this thing straight. Then when you add it on to his overall deal, it comes out to 3 years, $93.9 million, an average of $31.3 million. The reason why you give him fully guaranteed is because for a quarterback as good as DC, $31.3 million a year is actually a discount. If you were to give him the money in terms of how much he deserves in terms of where other quarterbacks have gotten, I think you got to be around that $34, $35 million range. So because he's going to be making $31.3 million over the next 3 years, I'm going to give him a few extra dollars and bills that's fully guaranteed, because this year, nothing's guaranteed. So now it's your opportunity. I want you to comment your Carr extension projections. If you don't like mine, this is your opportunity to let me know what you're thinking, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're too much of a coward to yell at me for my contract projections, but you don't give me yours, I'm going to say shame on you. If you put your Carr comment or contract extension in the comments, then please go ahead, rip mine apart from top to bottom. At the end of the day, the show is about giving y'all a voice, so I just want to see what you have to say. Let's go to the next player up here. It's Maxx Crosby, the 4th-round pick in 2019. You can make the argument he was the steal of that draft. His 2022 salary cap hit is going to be $4.2 million, and he has 1 year left on his deal. The reason why a lot of times teams go ahead and give players a contract extension is because they have 1 year left on their deal, and they don't want them to hit free agency, because chances are if they hit free agency, the money goes up. Why? It turns into more of a bidding war. Crosby's been probably my favorite player since he's been drafted in 2019. He is the epitome, I think, of what a Raider truly is, a hard-working dude, no matter what, and he continues to get better and better. Hell, I'd make the argument he was a top 5 defensive end this past season when he had 56 tackles, 30 quarterback hits, 8 sacks. In terms of how much money is that going to cost the Raiders if you do extend him? We have to look at some of the highest paid edge rushers in the National Football League. TJ Watt, Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, they're all making over $25 million per year. Then you got Khalil Mack at $23.5 million, and then DeMarcus Lawrence at $21. The only reason why I'm not going to put Crosby up there in the $25, $23 million is because the NFL looks at sacks, and Crosby's been phenomenal at being able to get after the quarterback, but he's not putting up the sack numbers that Watt, Bosa, and Garrett, and hell, even Khalil Mack did when they got their big-time deals. So the contract extension that I have for Crosby is he's going to get a 5-year, $110 million contract extension with $50 million guaranteed. It's about $15 million less than what Myles Garrett got, but I could see the Raiders rewarding Crosby for his loyalty to this team and give him the exact same amount of guaranteed dollars. That then turns his entire contract, because he still got that 1 year at $4.2 million left, to 6 years, $114.2 million in total. That's an average of $19 million a year, with guaranteed at $50 million. So what do y'all think? Should the Raiders extend Maxx Crosby? He's number 98. You're going to see a trend here. Why 98 for yes, or N98 for no? If you think that my number was a little bit low, because realistically, $19 million for Crosby, that's kind of a steal. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to give him even a little bit more, but I also have talked to Max, and he said he wants to be a Raider, and he's not trying to absolutely break the bank with them. Now, if you guys are looking to save a few extra dollars and cents as well, shout out to Panda Sups. We're trying to get us all into better shape. Use code VDAY at pandasups.com. That's going to get you 35% off. The one products that I really want you guys to try are the greens. Now, I wake up every morning, I get a cup of water, I throw in a scoop of the greens. It wakes me up. Actually, there's quite a bit of caffeine in it. On top of that, it's really hard to get vegetables in your daily diet. It's healthy for you. It's got a lot of probiotics in it as well. And then after work, man, I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty groggy. We work really hard here at Chat Sports, and I'm sure you guys work hard at home too. You take one scoop of the Pandemic pre-workout, which tastes exactly like those peach gummy rings. You remember those peach gummy rings you get in that little bag from the convenience store? It tastes just like that. It's super freaking good. Now, I will warn you, with pre-workout that is this strong and this legit, if you're new to using pre-workout, you might just want to take a half a scoop. But for me, sometimes I take a scoop. Sometimes, hell, I've even taken a scoop and a half. Bottom line is this, though. It's Valentine's Day, and if you're trying to not be single for next year, or I don't know, if you're trying to just wild out and be in better shape, hey, man, go to pandasups.com, 35% off. Just use code VDAY at checkout. Shout out to Panda Sups. Let's go to the next contract extension candidate. Wide receiver Hunter Renfrow, the 5th-round pick out of Clemson in 2019. His 2022 salary salary cap hit is $2.62 million, and he's coming off his best year of his career and he has 1 year left on his total contract. Renfrow, from a statistical standpoint, I don't know if he's ever going to have over 100 catches. I don't know if he's ever going to have over 1,000 yards again. He might not ever get 9 touchdowns. But with his ability for special teams, with his ability to pick up clutch first downs, and he's one of the best route runners in the entire National Football League, I can't wait to see what he does this season with Josh McDaniels. And is another guy. Continues to get better, and better, works his freaking tail off. Now, in terms of the numbers, the reason why I say I don't know if we'll get to this again is because his numbers drastically went up when Henry Ruggs was lost for the season. I would personally say if you can have Renfrow probably around 70 to 75 catches a year from here on out, that's what you're going to be looking for. So here's my Renfrow extension projection. I believe he's going to get a 4-year, $40 million extension, $21 million guaranteed. I looked at some other really solid slot receivers that could be potential captains. A slot receiver contract similar to this was Sterling Shepard, where he got $21 million guaranteed. Tyler Boyd, who just played in the Super Bowl, he got 4 years, about $40 million. So overall, you got Hunter Renfrow at 5 years, $42.6 million, an average of $8.5 million a year, and then $21 million guaranteed. Now again, y'all, I want you to get in those comments. Let me know if that's the type of contract projection that you're going to get for Renfrow. I want you to type Y13 for yes, type N13 for no, should the Raiders go out and extend third and Renfrow. Another player coming up here on my contract extension candidates is Yannick Ngakoue. He signed a 2-year, $26 million deal, which was fully guaranteed last offseason. His 2022 salary cap hit is exactly $15 million. With 1 year left on his deal, I could see some people bringing up the idea of going out and extending Ngakoue. Why? Well, he's pretty damn good this season. Now, do I think he was brought in to be more of a fit in that Gus Bradley system? Yes, I do. And in 2021, he had 28 tackles. I know PFF, I don't know what the hell PFF was smoking, but they have Ngakoue rated as one of the worst edge rushers in the league. If you're a bad edge rusher getting 10 sacks in a season, you know what? I'll take it, because he also was able to help out a little bit in the run game. 23 quarterback hits. In 2020, he bounced around with the Vikings, the Baltimore Ravens, still was able to get 8 sacks. But for the fact that this dude has been able to create 8 sacks every single year he's been in the NFL since 2016, he's a damn good player. So what do y'all think? Y91 for yes or N91 for no? Should the Las Vegas Raiders go out and extend Ngakoue? And here's the other thing that we got to talk about, right? Money. The Raiders are projected to have $31.7. You can't extend all these guys because then you're not going to have any money to do anything you want in free agency. And you're not going to have money to pay your draftees. So sooner or later, you guys are going to have to say no, which is exactly why I am going and saying no here to Ngakoue. I would like to see how he's able to finish out his contract at the $15 million. Not that I don't like Yannick, and if you followed the show for a while, this has been a dude that I've wanted the Raiders to go out and get for like 3 years, and then they finally did. The other reason why I'm going to say no is, how does he fit in the new system? He was a perfect system fit with Gus Bradley in that 4-3. More and more rumors have been popping up that the Raiders could go to a 3-4. Not that I don't believe Ngakoue can be good in a 3-4. I think he's athletic enough, but until I see it, there's no real reason to sit here and say, yes, you have to go out and extend Yannick Ngakoue. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, today is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to Raider Nation. All I want you guys to do is give a shout out to your girl, your wife, hell, if you got a loved one in your life, make sure you tell them that you love them every single day, not just on Valentine's Day. So Mom, I love you, happy Valentine's Day. Grandma, I love you, happy Valentine's Day. But also a special shout out to my girlfriend Alex. Almost getting to 2 years. Jeremy's in my ear saying, aw. If you guys want to go ahead and check out more pictures, I posted some stuff on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. But just so you guys know, I also love you all very, very much. So happy Valentine's Day to the nation. All right, let's go to the last player here that could get a contract extension. It's Darren Waller, and Waller signed a 3-year, $27 million deal, essentially, 2 years ago. His 2022 salary cap hit was $7 million, and he has 2 years left on his contract. And when I talk about Waller, this is one of these guys that's kind of hard to wrap my mind around, because I know a lot of people were frustrated by Waller this past season. due to his injuries, and there were some reports that him and Carr aren't getting along, and there's some reports out there that he didn't want to play. I'm not necessarily going to buy into that. Now, in 2021, he had 55 grabs, 665 yards, 2 touchdowns. The 2 years where he was arguably the best tight end, or at least top 3, 2020 where he had 107 grabs, 1,196 yards, 9 touchdowns. 2019, over 90 grabs, over 1,000 yards, only 3 touchdowns. 2018 was his first year with the Raiders. Again, had a lot of sobriety issues. Didn't even play in 2017. Played in 2016 with the Ravens. So here's my final person that we'll talk about. Should the Raiders go out and extend Darren Waller? Y83 for yes, or it's an N83 for no. I love Waller. And for those of you that have watched the show for a long time, you'll know that I really truly believe that he is a special, special talent. However, the reason why I am going to say no is because he has 2 years left on his deal. And when you look at a lot of these other players, I believe that Renfrow should get it, I believe Crosby should get it, and I believe Derek Carr is going to get it. So with all that being said, that's a lot of money that you got to go ahead and invest. And then on top of that, if you're going to go out and pay Waller, you're going to have to pay him over $14 million a year. Tight end is a very important position for the Raiders. I mean, hell, look, the Patriots, literally last season, they went out and made Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, both top 5 paid tight ends. Is Darren Waller at $7 million, arguably one of the best contracts in the entire NFL? Yes, absolutely. But if it really comes down to dollars and cents, maybe you can convince Waller, hey, be patient this year. Don't worry, we're not going to let anything happen to you. We got you next offseason, and if you wait, we'll give you even a little bit more. So out of all those players that I just talked about, or maybe there's somebody that I forgot. If you could extend one guy on the Raiders, all right, and it can be one of the 5 dudes that I mentioned, who would it be? And if I missed anyone, sorry, but please let me know. If I were to make it in terms of my Raiders extension candidates in terms of priority, the number 1 priority for me this offseason would be extending Maxx Crosby. I'd give him his contract first. Then I would give Hunter Renfrow his contract. I think both of those guys have absolutely earned it. Then it would be DC at number 3, Waller at 4, Yannick Ngakoue at number 5. Those are the top 5 players I think are the next to get a contract extension for the Silver and Black.